Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone. Once again, I'm your host Sean Kelly. This is Chef SK. Another vegetarian episode for you today. We have a barbecue curried mushroom wrap, a little bit of a homemade yogurt sauce, some pickled poblanos, and something fresh to sip on, celery spritz. No alcohol today. Let's get to it. All right, let's get it going. First, we're gonna be doing your barbecue curried mushrooms. We got two different kinds of mushrooms here. I'm gonna start off with my oysters. So, oyster mushrooms, we got a little shiitake here. We're gonna be putting these down in the pan with the onions and green pepper, get a nice little sear on that, and then what we're gonna do is finish with a little spice blend, a little bit of curry powder, and you know my homemade barbecue sauce. On this one here, we're gonna be serving it on a long piece of naan, 2 little servings on a plate. We're gonna be making a yogurt cucumber dip that I'm gonna show you in just a second. So, we got about 1.5 cups of the oyster mushroom. Just rough chop on these. A little bit of portobello. It's cool how we serve this one. We're gonna wrap this up in a little bit of parchment paper later, chop it up, and then serve it like a little street food. So it should be fun. Just about 1.5 cups of shiitake there. All right, mushrooms down and in. We're gonna reduce these a bit, add our onions and peppers next. Just about half an onion here. We'll keep this long, these onions, and the same way with the green pepper. I got a neutral oil here in the pan. We're going with a sunflower oil, not to take away and overpower that barbecue sauce at the end. So we're going in with also about half of a green pepper here. What's nice about this dish, a little tang, a little spice at the end. We're actually going to be pickling some poblanos, a little bit of a spicy mustard powder, curry powder, and a little bit of white vinegar on that to finish off on top of our yogurt sauce. Okay, so we dropped our ingredients down. We have our shiitake mushrooms, oyster mushrooms, green peppers, and onions. We're gonna add a little bit more oil on here. All right, a little salt and pepper on your veggies here. We're actually going with a little onion powder and garlic powder as well, but not fold in your barbecue sauce until the end with a little bit of curry powder to warm it all up. You got high heat here right now. We're gonna get a little brown, little sear on these guys. Temp down a tiny bit, cover it up. Get it to that nice marmalade consistency almost. All right, turn your heat down a bit and we're gonna get to mixing up our yogurt sauce. All right, so sweat, sweat, sweat on your vegetables. We are getting to your yogurt sauce. Let's do it. Hands a little yellow from my turmeric over there, just like my damn nut milk bag. So, all right, let's get going. In our yogurt sauce, this one is pretty straightforward. It has 2 different kinds of yogurt. I used a non-fat yogurt and a full-fat just to get a nice creaminess, playing with the nice tanginess of the no-fat yogurt there. So, let's go straight in. Fresh mint here. We're gonna be dicing everything up. Mint adds a nice freshness. The dill really works well. And it's almost like putting a blue cheese to your wing sauce, how we're going to be doing this yogurt sauce to the warmth of the barbecue sauce. So it should be really nice. This one's inspired by a by a couple friends actually, but the first time I saw a mushroom cheesesteak at my buddy's spot, Nature's Plate. So Mark showed me how he did his beautiful cheesesteak, and now I'm adapting it using my own barbecue sauce, doing a little curry flair, and some fresh and a little tang from our pickled poblanos. So you got your mint right in here. Going a little fresh dill. Ooh, we got a fresh drink for you today as well. So it's gonna be the celery spritz. So we have a little bit of fresh celery. We have some basil in there, a little sweetness from a green apple, and a little bit of agave. And we're gonna put that over a little club soda and ice. So nice and fresh to go with your little wrap today. All right, cucumber. And I'm thinking I want a little bit something pungent on this one too. We are gonna add a little bit of white onion too. Okay. This yogurt dip here, almost like a coleslaw dressing, you want it to marinate, set up a little bit. So we'll stick it in the fridge after this and make sure the onion flavor gets all throughout, as well as the fresh herbs. Wait until you see how we dress things, how I build you a wrap. All right, nice dice on these cucumbers. Right in, we're always gonna salt and pepper. And you could, the way I use 2 different yogurts on this one, you could adapt this. You could add a dollop of creme fraiche in there. You could do a little bit mayo for a little bit richer. Also, you could put a little bit more vinegar in there, or something spicy, however you want to mix it up. I wanted to keep the spice and the richness and the sweetness from the barbecue sauce a little away from each other, so we'll see how we taste it a little bit. All right, salt and pepper on these. You need to salt your cucumbers. I mean, what's a cucumber without Celtic sea salt? Pepper, and we're just gonna mix this guy up. Just like one of your slaw dressings. We'll taste this now. We'll taste this in a little bit. And this is the backdrop for that beautiful barbecue mushrooms back here. We're gonna see how we did on our dip here. A little more salt and pepper. I'm gonna go a little bit more white onion as well. Just about a quarter of an onion. Mushrooms are smelling good behind me. We're about ready to throw down some barbecue sauce on that and a little curry powder. Make sure texture is where we want it. But I like always getting my onions, garlic, and especially mushrooms down to almost like a marmalade feel, like I had said before. Nice Vidalia onion sweetness. We don't need anything knock your socks off on that one. More pepper, extra salt. All right, we got a little bit more white onion down in here, a little bit more salt and pepper. We're gonna get right into pickling these poblanos here. So super straightforward, but you get a little extra heat from this spicy mustard powder here. A little bit of curry powder. You got your fenugreek, your turmeric, all the warm spices there, a little bit of cinnamon. So let's get our poblanos down. Mustard and curry powder. This adds a little bit of heat to counteract this creaminess of the yogurt here. A little bit of raw cane sugar and a little bit of white vinegar. Always salt and pepper. Roll these up, get a yellow hand. All right, we're gonna let these soak up the seasonings here. A little bit more mustard powder, a little bit more turmeric, a little bit more salt, we are gonna check on our mushrooms. Time to put a little barbecue sauce down on that. And then it's time to drink something fresh. It's the celery spritz coming your way. Alright, so we are going to strain right into the mixing bowl after this. So yeah, everything goes right now in your blender. This one here, if you wanted a little bit more on the tangy side, you can do it, you can put a bit of lemon in there, a little bit of lime. I'm just going to garnish this one with a fresh lime and leave it up to you. Alright, so we're going to go about a cup and a half of celery in here. Let's get our basil chopped up. From my days of the beverage world, keeping some things under wraps, but I'm coming back, don't you worry. All right, fresh basil in here. We're gonna blend in the agave at the end so we don't have to strain it through the nut milk bag. You just wanna add that sweetness at the end and make sure it's all mixed up. We're gonna go with a whole green apple here. I love Granny Smith apple. And I was saying, you can adapt this one if you wanted a little bit of citrus to it. You can add a little bit of lime, a little bit of lemon, but for you, I'm just gonna do a lime garnish, so leave it up to you. All right, so we got our veg, our fruit, and our little herb in here. Just a little bit of water just to bust this up. So I've done this one a couple different ways, actually, with a golden delicious apple, a little bit of mint, but make it how you want it. Shake, shake, shake. Pulse, pulse, pulse. This blender got a little wild though. Potent on this one. That's why we are going over a little bit of ice and a tiny bit of sparkling water there. Alright, so we just strained through the nut milk bag. You're gonna go right into your blender that you started with, add your agave, pulse, 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 and then my friends will be here for me to pour it up. All right, so welcome some of my new friends. Blonde on blonde on blonde. Thank you, Annie. Thank you, Whitney, for being here. We have a special one for you today. First, we could get drinking. We have a celery spritz. So this one here, I did a little bit of basil, celery, some agave, and green apple, actually. So we put it in the nut milk bag, strained it through. We're gonna finish with a little club soda here.
Sounds really good.
And a mix like this, I did a tequila cocktail my last episode, but something like this would go real nice in that. Add a little fresh. We could all act healthy, right?
Yes, and get drunk at the same time?
Yeah, so it's about 4 to 1 on, you just want a little bubble on this one. You don't want to take away from this. We will finish with a little lime for you. Optional.
Yes. Makes it pretty.
And there you go.
Thank you.
Enjoy. Drink your basil, would you?
Cheers.
Cool.
Cheers.
Yeah,
Thank
lunch
you
is
very
gonna be
much.
cool. Yeah, you got it.
I'm excited.
Yeah, so we're gonna be setting up your almost like kind of like a little taco, but we do have some nice naan that we have here. I know, right? With the bendies.
Awesome.
The bendies.
Yeah, that's really good.
Isn't it fun?
Yes.
I know.
Very good.
There's so much flavor.
There's a lot going on. I never think you'd be drinking basil, right?
No, I love this.
Mm-hmm. And it's even more intense if you don't add the agave. I didn't know, how many herbs you guys are drinking, but
I love.
But yeah. When it comes to lunch today, it's yeah, almost like a wrap, but I made it into kind of 2 tacos. So like I said, the naan, we're gonna put down a little of our yogurt dip. We got some cucumbers, white onion, and dill in here. Finished off, this is a little poblano pepper. I finished it with a little spicy mustard powder and some turmeric on here. So let's lay some of our cucumber sauce here. We'll dollop this a little bit on the top, always salt and pepper to finish up. So the meat on this one, this is a vegetarian recipe. So it's a kind of a take, it's a barbecued curried mushrooms with a little bit of green pepper and onion. So. All right, so mushrooms looking good. Time to throw these guys down. We'll go on with a little bit more yogurt sauce and finish a little spice. Yeah, you kind of
drink.
Yeah, you kind of see onions, garlic, all kinds of always different peppers on my show, but it's just so nice when you make that like when it's got that gooey, that marmalade, you know what I mean? Speaking about vegetarian, that's the favorite way. I actually have I'm gonna be doing a chopped chicken liver dip coming up too. So yeah, we get the onions really cooked down on that one, and it's like it gets sweet, you know, it's cool. So these I figured here, I didn't know whether I was going to roll these up and cut them like street food. I had some parchment paper out, but I think it's gonna be nice. You could just kind of pick them up like that, you know? Let's just finish up a little curry powder. So we have a little sunflower oil in here. We used a spicy mustard powder, but if you set this up over a few days, you could use crushed mustard seeds, actually. So the reason I wanted to put a little curry powder into mine, this is actually a homemade barbecue sauce that I've done for years and years and years. Yeah, so the reason I wanted to show this with curry powder, because it's a nice base. It doesn't have any mustard in it. There's enough onion, enough vinegar, enough tomato that it's kind of, it's like a quick curry just by adding the curry powder. You know, so if you wanted a smoked barbecue sauce spicy, but this one, it really picks up. It's a nice backdrop for the curry. Right, chomp, chomp, chomp. Yeah, there you are.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I think you're going to be surprised with the poblano there. It's a little spicy, but it's not quite a jalapeno, but it's not quite a green pepper, so in the middle of the road.
Nice.
Yeah, a little bit of white sugar in there too. Get going.
All right.
No need to be dainty.
I'm not going.
Yes.
That's really delicious.
Awesome. I was saying earlier, it's like playing blue cheese with your buffalo. You know what I mean? So we got but the yogurt and the barbecue play nice. So
good.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, it's staying together pretty good. Got it done.
So I feel like it's a mix between a Greek dish and the sausage and peppers that you get.
Yeah,
like, it's delicious.
Cool. Yeah, a little bit of Indian flair there.
Yeah,
but it's like
bit of everything.
tzatziki-ish, you know what I mean? It's like chef-esque, you know, SK that is. But I'm glad you guys are enjoying.
Yeah, I think this will hold my face too.
Really good. All right, so that looks like another one in the books for us, everybody. I had a little street food feel today. We spiced it up, we chopped it up, we freshened it up. Until next time, everybody, stay blessed, and I'll see y'all soon.